You ever stop and think about the words we use every single day? Some of them seem so simple, but it's often those basic words that hold entire worlds of meaning. Today, we're going to unpack one of them and see how a really simple concept can be the foundation for some seriously complex communication.
So let me ask you this. How many words do you really need to speak a language fluently? I mean, to really get your point across in English. What's your guess? A million? Maybe 10,000? Well, get ready, because the actual answer is probably going to surprise you.
850. That's it. That is the number. Seems kind of impossibly small, doesn't it? But believe me, this isn't just some number pulled out of a hat. It's actually the foundation of a really fascinating idea about how language works.
Okay, so where does this number come from? It's from something called Basic English. Now, this was an idea from way back in the 1930s, and it was built on this amazing premise that you can express pretty much anything you need to with a core list of just 850 super powerful, multi-purpose words. The whole trick, the key to making it all work, is that each and every one of those words has to do a ton of heavy lifting.
And today, we're going to put just one of those powerhouse words under the microscope. It's a word you definitely know, a word you probably use all the time, but I bet you haven't realized just how incredibly versatile it is. And that word is fall.
All right, so let's dive right in. First up, we're going to look at fall as an action, as a verb. This is where we see the word in motion, describing all the things happening out there in the world.
Okay, first, let's get the quick grammar stuff out of the way. Like a lot of these powerful verbs, it changes its form depending on when the action is happening, right? So you've got fall, falls, fell, fallen, and falling. Super straightforward, I know, but these different forms are the building blocks for all the cool meanings we're about to get into.
So let's start with the most obvious, the most, physical meaning of the word. This is fall at its most literal. Think about an apple dropping from a tree or, when you trip on the sidewalk. It's all about that undeniable pull of gravity. It's something we all get, a totally universal experience. But then, the meaning starts to shift a little. Here, falling isn't an accident anymore. It's a choice. It's an act of submission, maybe even desperation. The physical movement is exactly the same, down to the ground, but now it's totally loaded with human intention and emotion.
And then the word takes another huge leap. This time, it goes from the physical world to something completely abstract. I mean, an entire empire doesn't literally trip and fall over, right? Here, fall means defeat, collapse, the end of an era. Just think about that. We've gone from a simple apple to the entire course of human history, all using the exact same word.
So that's fall as an action, but believe it or not, that's only half the story. This word is just as powerful when it stops being an action and becomes an idea, when it's a noun.
And just like with the verb, the noun form is super simple. You've got fall for one and falls for when there's more than one. But again, don't let that simplicity fool you. These simple forms pack a huge range of concepts.
I mean, in North America, an entire season is named after this word. And why is that? Well, it's pretty obvious when you think about it. It's named for the most visible sign of that season, the falling of the leaves. That action we were just talking about is so powerful that it gets to define a whole chunk of the year.
And it doesn't just stop at seasons. Think about a massive, powerful force of nature, a waterfall. It's right there in the name. What is a waterfall, really, if not just a place where water is constantly, endlessly, falling? The connection is so direct, it's kind of beautiful.
And this is where it all comes full circle. Remember how the verb fall can mean the defeat of an empire? Well, the noun fall refers to that event itself. We talk about the fall of Rome. This is just a perfect example of how the action, the verb, and the idea, the noun, are so deeply connected.
So when you lay it all out like this, the range is just incredible. On one hand, you've got the actions, physical, intentional, and completely metaphorical. And on the other, you have the ideas, a whole season, a force of nature, and a huge historical concept. And all of that, every single bit of it, comes from one simple four-letter word. Now that is what you call linguistic efficiency.
Okay, so this brings us to the big takeaway, the so what of it all. Why does any of this matter? Well, it matters because it reveals the hidden genius behind language itself, and especially within a system like Basic English. So let's circle back. Why was fall chosen to be one of those 850 essential words? It's because it's like a master key,
Think about it. It unlocks both literal concepts, like an apple, and figurative ones, like an empire. It works as both an action and a thing. And best of all, every single one of its meanings is tied back to that one simple, universal idea, moving down. It's the ultimate linguistic multi-tool.
And really, that's the heart of this whole thing. You know, we often think that having a huge vocabulary is what makes someone a great communicator. But maybe the real skill isn't just knowing more words. Maybe it's about truly understanding the incredible depth and power of the fundamental words we already use every day.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to chew on. What other simple, everyday words are just like fall? I'm talking about words like run or get or set. What other hidden worlds of meaning are just sitting there waiting to be discovered inside the words you use every single day? It's something to think about.